first vlog of the year, January 3rd, 2026, in the studio with Brian shooting product photography for social. Studio's a mess right now. Sunday the 4th, we will be in Paris in 2 weeks. Yeah, this is just the last stretch. Making our last sample in-house, which I'm really excited about. Most of our samples we do in-house, mainly for like outerwear and tailoring. I realize that we don't have a lot of accessible points for outerwear, and I think vests historically have worked really well for us. So this season we decided to make a vest. We're currently making it now. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. And like I said, head to Paris in 2 weeks, so it's basically crunch time, but yeah. So tired. Almost there.
Come in, crew, prepare for takeoff.
Damn, big dog in the flesh. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you,
I can
bro.
fly.
Thank you.
You kind of match it.
Yeah, you match a little thing. This hat.
I know. You good? How's it going?
How are you?
Nice to see you.
That store's crazy though.
Which one?
Personnel.
The things I said last of my friends, I'll be shut my eyes, oh, I still haven't slept. I'll come back running to the past, running till I pass through you. All that will running through the past, running through and past this bruise. What is on your face?
The show was amazing, the movie was amazing, and also I feel the collection is growing as you are growing, so it's really, I think, probably one of the most prone designs that you've done.
Hey guys, Brian's in the cut.
You're in London. You're just in Paris.
Just got that McDonald's
You're
breakfast.
just in Paris.
We just teleported. Just in the studio, we've been working on a lot of things that I want to show you guys. If you don't know, last year we launched our S belts. So basically cowhide with these studs at the end. Pretty thick leather. But yeah, so we launched this, was kind of like our introduction to small leather goods. Honestly, performed really well. Was definitely like more of a statement piece. I think right now like people are wearing maybe more understated belts. So this was definitely like I guess some sort of rejection towards that idea, but I digress. Super exciting. The next thing we are releasing is a wallet. So leather wallet made in Portugal. Same supplier that made the belt. It's really exciting. So basically you have about 10 slots if I'm not mistaken. 10 slots for cards. I don't know who has that many cards, but I probably have like 4, but again, I digress. So this is the first sample. For production, we actually got rid of the holes at the top because I wasn't liking how you could see, I guess, the lower level. For the final production, the holes are gonna start from the second row here. And yeah, so I think if you are familiar with the brand, you've probably seen things like our grommet hat. We actually used to play with a lot of grommets in the past. Really thinking about how we can like really bring back these motifs into the brand and kind of make it part of the brand's language overall. And I think there's just really something interesting about having a brand language that comes through the construction of the garment or the item opposed to maybe, you know, simple branding. So pretty fun wallet. I'd say probably more, maybe like the funnest thing we've done in a while. Very playful. A cool thing is have some bills, just kind of like show what it looks like. So it does fit a bunch of bills or a bunch of different sizes. So here we have an American dollar bill, Korean. So there's actually a lot of space. Overall, I think as a card holder or as a wallet, I think it's like really cool. So yeah, there you go. So leather wallet, It's going to be dropping as part of our summer collection, and I am really excited about it. Second item is the Camo, this season in kind of like a more traditional, kind of like more brown colorway. Yeah, so here we have the dancing Camo in a printed ripstop. And you see like the different motifs of people dancing. We did it in the snow colorway last season, and this is just kind of a continuation of that story. Yeah, zipper closure. This is the first sample for production we actually, first sample, I drafted the placket a bit too short, so obviously for production, the placket's gonna be the full length covering the zipper. We also have snaps that are gonna be used to hold down the placket on the front. Then we have these cargo pockets on the front here with our asymmetrical raglan detail. If you have any of our clothes, you probably are familiar with. This is honestly like one of the best things I feel like I've made in my career. It's just like, I think it's kind of culminates like everything that we're trying to do within the brand, and really playing with this idea of like a uniform and this idea of like of menswear. Shout out to Mike Sunday again for helping me bring this idea to life. Like, it's so crazy. And then last but not least, new lounge pants, basically made out of like French terry, so kind of similar to like a sweatpant, but sweatpants would actually be underselling this garment. I feel like there's so many details in construction that a sweatpant, I feel like, is not the best way to describe this, but for what it's worth, elasticated waistband with a button fly opening, big black buttons down the front, and then we have this pocket, 2 pockets on the front. And then the construction of this is actually, I started by putting the front and the back leg together and basically made like a bit of like a wraparound side seam. So the side seam starts from the back and wraps to the front, pretty drastically at the bottom. And then we added some darting details on the knees, and then just kind of carry on this like language with this kind of like I guess like a denim yoke with built-in pockets and the same buttons on the front. There's closures at the back. Pretty wide hem. But again, this is like one of my favorite pieces this season. On a side note, it's actually been like a bit crazy recently. We've been implementing a lot of new things from last year. We haven't really changed our team, but I think we've added a few new people, which have been like really helpful to the brand and like where we're going with things. If you haven't noticed, there's kind of like, I feel like a new feel and look with the brand. Obviously not really departing from like where we started, but it's been really important for just like, at least for me to kind of like evolve and grow this season and start to like really, I guess, again, like create something that feels recognizable. I feel like I'm getting there. It feels like we're already there in a lot of ways, and a lot of conversations I'm having with people. I think what we're trying to communicate is really coming across, so obviously I'm super happy about that. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like running a brand in 2026 is crazy. Not to add like so much going on in the world, but I think that like we're all kind of inundated with like so much media, so much content, and I think brands this day and age, you know, you kind of need to do a lot more than just like have cool clothes. And obviously if you're trying to build something long term, it's like super important to like have a pretty clear POV and have a stance and do something that's like different. You know, I think in a lot of ways, there's a lot of kind of like familiarity with what a lot of brands do. And I think every day it's really about like, just like honing what you're doing, getting clear about what that is and being able to like iterate and pivot like when needed. But I love it, you know, I love the competition. I love that we're kind of in a space where anyone can kind of create a brand if you think about it. But within all that noise, I think it's like to stand out takes a lot more work, and to cut through, I think like you need to really show up with something different. And I think that's kind of like what I've been like really obsessing about recently, like just kind of as we grow and evolve as a brand, like just always making sure that like we, you know, more or less like carve out a space in the market and like kind of have like a clear stance of like who we are. But yeah, I can kind of like go on for days, but those are kind of things that we've been working on. We just got back from Paris, so that was like pretty fun, and I'm pretty sure you guys will kind of see these videos or those videos in these videos. And yeah, honestly, like if you guys have any questions, please put it into the chat. I'm really trying to like be more consistent with these videos. I think there's like something to be said about the obsessive nature of building a brand and how much energy it takes. I don't have like someone following me with a camera every day, so I'm not really always thinking about recording or documenting. But I do know the importance of, not only for myself, like documenting like what I'm building, but also for like, you know, the audience and people that are like curious about what we're doing. And obviously this adds like a lot more context beyond like the storytelling aspect of like building a brand. But yeah, we do what we can with what we have, and we make the best out of it. Thank you guys for supporting, for watching, and I'm going to get back to work.